Hello, YouTube. Hello. How are you doing today? So I'm just going to talk about good and evil right now. So basically, what I wanted to talk about was what. Well, essentially, I want to get to the point that we shouldn't be fighting good people against good people. That's my point with this whole video. Is that I don't like the idea that we're fighting that good people fight against good people. I think the only time we should be fighting is good people against evil people. So that's the point I want to get, and I'm going to get to that point. I promise I will. And I hope that you follow my train of thought as I get to that point. So first things first, I'm going to be talking about, morality, number one, immorality, number two, and amorality, number three. Now, to understand this, morality means that you are a good person, you're doing the right thing. According to my old high school principal, 95% of people are good people, they're moral people. So that's 95%. And 5% are generally bad or evil, however you want to call it. And they're not trying to do the right thing. They're trying to either not caring or they're doing something bad. So immorality, which is number two there, is evil. Okay? So immorality, essentially it means that you know that what you're doing is bad or evil and you're still doing it. I don't need to go into examples here because I think we all know what is good and what's evil. So immorality, you know you shouldn't be doing it, you're still doing it anyway. Perhaps you're doing it because you get a kick out of defying the rules. Perhaps you're doing it because you feel some power out of being evil. A lot of people have talked about the power out of it, and it can even be sexual. Some people get turned on by being evil, and that's a motivation for a lot of people. So the third thing is amorality. Now, theoretically, amorality is neutral. So amorality is essentially you don't even pay attention to good or evil. You just go around doing whatever you want to do. And now, let's say you go around doing whatever you want to do, and what does amorality conclude to? That you can just as easily hurt someone you love or help them. And it doesn't matter. You're only doing it for your own enjoyment or your own power. We divide that a little bit more. So, in my opinion, and my understanding of it, amorality is evil as well. It's not neutral. So, I don't want to get into examples, but so I think it then elevates this to makes it difficult to talk about. Anyway, so we'll just say that I think that amorality is more evil than immorality because if you think about it, if you're immoral, you know that what you're doing is evil. You can perhaps do some penance for it. You can make up for it. You can be good again. If you're amoral, you don't even care if it's evil or good. You don't know if it's evil or good. You just doing whatever. You don't care about the consequences. How can you come back from something when you don't even recognise that it was bad in the first place? So that's one thing. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is that if we assume that my old high school principal was right, 95% of the world is generally good, and 5% is generally evil. If we had a war, a fight of any kind, 95 against 5, the 95 are going to win. And arguably we should have that war. Arguably we should. Arguably every person should be fighting that war. Do everything we can to stop it. To, if not kill evil, then at least isolate it and stop it from hurting us. And that should be our number one aim as people, as human beings, is to stop evil. That should be our number one. Well, other than continuing the human race, and I think there's 7 billion people. It's not a factor right now. But yeah, certainly stopping evil. Now, one thing about evil how can evil have any chance when it's only 5%? Simple answer is that evil pretends to be good, and evil is manipulative. And evil will say, hey, I'm a good guy, these guys are bad guys. And then what you do is you end up having good fighting good. And that's what essentially, as far as I know, every war ever fought in history has been good people fighting good people by being manipulated by evil. And that's what we see at a lesser level all over the world. And so what we've got to do is to know what's good, what's evil. I've talked about this a little bit before. So homosexuality is not evil because it doesn't affect anybody, so that's not evil. Transgenderism is not evil. Uh, Muslims are not evil. Christians are not evil. Jews are not evil. And in fact, if we talk about the 13 major religions, they're all essentially telling the same story in a different way. So we can disagree about what we think is the right way to tell that story, but it doesn't make it evil. I mean, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's called the Golden Rule. It's in 13 major religions. It's the basis of all of those religions. The people that are following those religions are good people. I mean, they should be. No, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be, because people can follow a belief and still be evil. They can know that it's evil, know the difference between good and evil, and still do evil. People do that all the time. That's immoral. Right? So if you have an evil Jew, an evil Muslim, an evil Christian, an evil Buddhist, an evil Hindu, an evil Hindu, they're all evil, but their religion is not. And they could be misusing their religion to do evil. Or they could be just ignoring the religion and being evil on the side. All sorts of there's all sorts of different ways you can do it. So another thing is that a lot of people confuse evil results with evil motivations. So if your aim was to do good, then you have done good. So, and I can use an example here. If let's say that you saw someone crying, and so you thought, oh, okay, this is no good. Well, you went up to them and talked to them and said, are you okay? And put your hand on their shoulder, and they punched you. And this sort of thing happened. It could be they had a bad sunburn, and that's why, a sunburn, sorry, and that's why they're crying. So you put your hand on their sunburn, ow, they're going to punch you. Could be that they don't want to be touched, they punch you. Your aim is still good. So what you've done is still a good thing. Okay? Even if you have hurt them, even if you try to help someone in some other way and it ends up hurting them, you've still done a good thing. Okay? So, and I think we need to recognize that. And if you're punching someone because they put their hand on your shoulder, you should be thinking to yourself, perhaps I shouldn't have that reaction. Well, sometimes we have knee-jerk reactions, but we probably shouldn't really be doing that sort of thing. And I think when you do that sort of thing, I think that we need to step back and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just have a bad sunburn. And then they'll say sorry and we're all good. And often we don't say sorry in that situation. And often we attack that person that's trying to help us. We shouldn't. We absolutely should not do that. Now, equally, there are cases where people have tried to do something bad and it's ended up having a positive result. We've had people, and I don't want to go into examples, but there are people that have done bad things that have accidentally, through pure chance, led to something good. Maybe they were throwing a rock over a bridge, and which is an evil act. I'm just going to say that, because you're just randomly throwing rocks that could kill people that you don't know. How is that? That's obviously evil, and or could hurt people. And let's say that instead of hurting someone or causing problems, you've saved someone's life. It can happen. Doesn't mean you were good. You're not good. Just means that the result is good. Your action was still evil. Could be immoral, could be amoral, depending on your motives. But it's still evil either way. So I think that what I guess my point is that when sometimes we get caught up in things that oh, that's evil because the Bible tells us that, and or this is evil because the Quran tells us this, and we shouldn't be doing that. Now, if somebody says something against that you think's against your religion, or does something that you think's against your religion, but it's not actually caused any harm, I don't care if you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Jewish, you're whatever you are. Don't just stop. You can protest about it and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that," but just stop. Okay. So I'm not going to go into examples there. I could, but I'm not going to. But we should just stop that. And I think that we've got to say, let's stop fighting good people against good people. Let's stop attacking each other. If someone upsets you, attack them. Well, probably shouldn't have said that, but I mean, if somebody has hurt you and you want to let them know that they've hurt you, that's different. That's different. That's different to. I, I've got to sort of contradict myself there, but I mean, when we all know what's good and what's evil, and we all have choices in our life, and sometimes we don't think, and that's amoral. Sometimes we know that it's evil and we still do it, and sometimes we're trying to do the right thing, and it stuffs up. We're all going to stuff up. I'm not going to blame anyone for stuffing up ever. Yeah. So anyway, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. So yeah, it's I find that I often get annoyed that we're spending so much time fighting about it, petty things and making general statements that are unfair, that encourage evil by hiding what it really is. And I think that we need to stop that, and we need to fight actual evil. You know, if somebody's throwing rocks from a bridge, again, I've come back to that example, we need to stop that. And we need to stop that. It's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But we need to focus on that sort of thing. And whether it's throwing rocks or spitting on someone or swearing at them, those sort of things we need to stop. We need to stop those sort of things before we say Islam's evil, homosexuals are evil, transgenders are evil, or anything like that. We need to stop things that are actually hurting people, that are evil aims, even if they're only small evil aims. Even if their aim is just to get a bit of spit on somebody's face, still evil. It's small evil. We can stop that. And you know, there's big evils, there's small evils, there's evil. We sort of we can put them in a ranking if you want to. We can work out a mathematical formula if you want to. Work out, hey, this is this evil, this is that evil, this evil, this is evil, this amount, that amount, that amount, and we can put a little box and give you a score out of 100. You want to do that? We can do that. So, all right, throw a rock up there. Chance of killing someone that makes it very evil. Well, it's a very low chance. I'm going to give that a 30 out of 100. There you go. 10 that way, 3 that way. 30. There you go. 30 out of 100. Doing it with a machine gun, 90 out of 100. No, but do you want to say, oh, okay, let's let them throw rocks over the bridge at passing cars? Probably only going to kill 3 people in an hour. We need to stop evil things. We let a certain level get away, and then the next level is going to happen, and it's going to be too late. And that's what we need to stop in. And we also need to be not calling things evil that are not evil. And we all know what's evil and what's not evil. We know it from birth. If you have to be taught to be that this is evil, and you don't go from birth and say, "Oh my goodness, that's a gay person, 2 men kissing, that's wrong." If you saw that as a newborn baby, you would not know either way. Because clearly it's a neutral act. And we don't need to say that's evil. We don't need to, I mean, if you've met a Muslim person when you're a baby, you're not going to go, oh, that's evil. You might be Muslim yourself. It's clearly not evil. And that should be the test. If you know from birth that it's wrong, it's evil. You have to be taught. It's probably not evil. Someone has to say, oh, this is evil, really, really, really. No, it's not. And that's your test because, throwing rocks on someone is evil. You know that. I know that. I don't have to be told. And there's no dispute about it. There's no justification for it. And that's evil. So let's get things right. Let's say this is evil. This doesn't matter. Let's focus on evil. I mean, perhaps we can never really get rid of evil because perhaps even if we magically manage to round them all up, fight them, and either stop them being evil or kill them or whatever, then more people will be evil. Maybe that's what would happen. I don't know, but I still think good people should be doing more to stop evil and should be less gullible about thinking that things are evil when they're not. Or thinking that giving excuses for evil actions as well. That's awful. You should never do that. We're too keen to do that. Too keen to say, my poor person had mental health issues. Mental health doesn't make you become evil. That's not how mental health works. You can coincidentally have mental health issues and be evil. You can be both. Or you can be just one. Not the same thing, not the same issue. It's really insulting to people with mental health issues to say that that's related to evil. It's inaccurate and it's insulting. And it creates discrimination against people with mental health issues. But they're not doing anything wrong. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. I'd like to see the situation where humans all loved each other, all races, all nationalities, all religions, and both sexes didn't care about petty little things, but that then we all really knew and understood and weren't tricked by what's evil and what's good. Because, if you think evil and good is a complicated issue, you're probably being tricked. It's a simple, very, very, very simple issue that we know when we're born. You're not taught that. You know, you just know. You know that you shouldn't be doing that, and you know that that's okay. You know that you should be doing that. We can get into intricacies and we overcomplicate it, but it is a simple issue. We don't have to read a book to be told that. We don't have to be told for someone else. We know what's good. We know what's evil, and that's a very, 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 very simple thing that I wish that We stopped overcomplicating. We stopped excusing evil actions. And we stopped calling normal things that are neutral or that are good, pretending that they're evil when they're not. I'd like to see all wars end, except for wars against evil. Okay? And there are evil people out there. There's people that are mainly evil. There's even people that are completely evil. Who've made the choice. Who said, "This is what I want to do." They said that they want to be evil, immoral or amoral. And there are people that do that. There are, according to my high school principal, 5%. It's probably something along those lines. 5%. Yeah. So there are evil people. I've met them. I'm sure anyone watching this has met them. You've met evil people. You've met people. You've seen people do evil things. You've heard of people doing evil things. You read a newspaper, you see it, you hear it on the TV. It happened. And we're not in any doubt. We're not confused. Some people try to confuse us. But if you're confused, stop being confused. Just be simple. You know when you're born. You know what's good. You know what's evil. Don't let someone convince you that that thing that you know in your heart is wrong. Because you know it. I know it. You know it. We all know it. We know what's evil. I'm not going to tell you. Why do I have to tell you? You know it. Everyone knows. I've never met anyone in my entire life that was confused about what was good or evil. But I have met people who have lied to themselves and to others about what it was, who've tricked people. They still knew what was good and evil in their heart, but they've gone around saying that, for example, homosexuality was evil when they know that that's got nothing to do with good or evil. It's just a neutral, normal, whether it's a choice or what you're born with, it's nothing to do with good or evil. And, that's one example. There's a number of others. Muslims being evil is another one. Or Christians being evil. Or priests being evil. Or that's not what evil is. Evil isn't a demographic. Evil is a choice that you make or don't make. It's where you know that you could steal that $10 out of the jar, and you decide, and you know you could get away with it, and you decide not to because that's the wrong thing to do. Or you decide to do it because you know you're going to get away with it. But they're the choices that you make about good and evil, and different people make different amounts of good and evil things. We could probably rate them. We could probably have a formula. We could probably have numbers. You're 93.6% good, whatever. You could do numbers on them. Perhaps one day we will. I think in China they're doing something like that. And then people say that's a bad thing to do, so I'm not going to comment on that. But suffice to say that, it's a lot simpler than it should be. It's a lot simpler than we are told it is. And I think that there's a lot of dishonesty about a lot of different things in the world, and the dishonesty about what's good and what's evil is probably the greatest lie that we're told. We shouldn't be told. All right, so okay, well that's my video. Good anime. I know I'm not as animated as some people, but I'm for a wife in the other room, and she doesn't like me getting too animated, so that's part of the reason for it. Got to respect her family and how we do things, so try to be quiet and calm and not too excitable. Okay, thanks. Bye. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.